Hi team, so today we are dealing with a PS5 HDMI. Um, I wanted to show you guys, even though it's not physically broken from the outside, sometimes it can fail from the other end. So if you guys can see right there. So you see those pins, they're not looking quite factory. So for example, if we go like this, you see how it wiggles? They should not be wiggling. There should be no wiggle at all. They should be absolutely solid. See how that one like that, it's wiggling. That one isn't, but this one is. Yeah, so these are loose, so we're gonna go ahead and replace this this HDMI port. Couple things to look out for when you're doing this is this little cap right here. It tends to fly off quite easily, so just watch out for it. And also on the opposite end, there is a diode. Can you guys see? Right here, these diodes that you also, this guy right here, it's a little black dude, you gotta watch out for it as well because it tends to fly off as well. So a couple things to keep in mind. So first thing we want to do is, you guessed it, we want to lower that melting temperature. So we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna add some flux to them legs, and then we're gonna grab our 138 leaded solder. You're gonna grab your soldering tip and make sure it's at 750, which is probably as high as it's gonna be able to go. Oops. And we're gonna just lower the melting temperature of the anchor holes. I'm gonna just put a ton of this guy in here. Don't worry if you get bridges, that's the least of your problems. You wanna make sure there's as much of this as you can get in there. Go. Make sure you're not getting it on the diode. You don't want to lower the melting temperature of that guy. Oh. And this is just so when we heat it up, it doesn't take as much heat to get this port off. There we go. You're good. One thing we're also going to do is we're going to take this little plastic piece off. We're going to put it on our new HDMI port. We're going to flip this over. And go. Put this a little bit more outwards. There you are, buddy. And same thing, we are going to put some flux on those legs, those anchor holes. We're gonna flood it right here as much as we can. Okay, I'm gonna go on this side now. The reason why it's having a hard time sticking to the anchor holes is because that is ground, so there's just a lot of thermal mass all throughout the board. So it's kind of like sucking it up. Oops, we made a boo-boo right there. No matter, we'll clean it up. And how do we clean up our boo-boos? With wick. rubber wick. There we go. All cleaned up. There we go. As much as we were able to get on that side. And we're also, I know some people think this is probably stupid. I've seen some people kind of question it. But trust me, lowering the melting temperature of the little legs back here, best decision you'll ever make. Especially when they're already wiggly. He's like, this one's going to the trash, so why are you saving it anyways, right? So we are going to just go fudge it. And add as much as we can. Being mindful of that little cap. Making sure it doesn't fly off on us. Avoid it as much as possible. There you go. Now that we've made sure that all the pads have some juicy stuff on them, you can go ahead and start heating stuff. You see how not all the pads have it? Perfect. So now, oops, too bad. That was no bueno. Usually what I do is I put something over the board to kind of keep it held. Okay. And then usually I'll grab a thicker set of tweezers for this particular moment. Sure that it's all flexed up. Where are thicker tweezers? Tweezers, here we go. So you want to set your hottest station with your biggest nozzle. So open nozzle. Take off all the like tips, adapters, whatever you want to call it. Take them all off. It's going to be open. You're going to set it at a temperature of 425, 430. Yeah, don't be shocked. It's going to take it because these have so much thermal mass, it's just going to suck it right up. 425. Airflow of 120. You're going to move your air left, right, left, right. Eventually, you're going to see stuff bubble up. It's going to take a minute or so. Okay. I'm seeing some stuff happening. Get ready. The legs are ready. Not the legs, the pads. But we want to make sure that these legs are ready. The anchor holes. So watch the anchor holes. Once you see some liquefaction, see if you can wiggle it a little. And it's gonna get hot. So There we go. This one's trying to come off. There we go, buddy. There we go. Anchor holes. There we go. It's coming and almost there. Careful with your legs. As this is coming off, boom, it's free. And the first thing we do is we check for any potential rip pads. So far, so good. Gonna add a little low melt again. Gonna move this guy around since we lost that piece. Where? Fine, pal. There we go. And we'll use this right here. So all those guys are good. Beautiful. And we're gonna grab our solder wick, and we're gonna leave the ankle holes like that for now. Actually, let's clean those up too. Make sure these guys are good. Okay, so how we're gonna clean this anchor holes is I'm gonna show you guys this nifty little trick. It takes some time to master, and in some cases you may be able to just use the, just leave it be, up to you. I'm just not a huge fan of using 138 letter solder for the anchor holes, just because it's such an important part. You don't want to use cheap flux on it at all. So what we're gonna do is hold right here from the bottom, coming from the bottom a little bit. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna use a little heat, right? And boop. I'm gonna use this to suck it up. Be mindful of the cap that's right there. You need to go back, cut off another piece, whatever you gotta do. I'm gonna try that again. It takes a couple tries. Oh, fuck. Follow my leg. Apologize for cursing. Okay, so we're gonna try it here one more time. Let's try from the top, see if it's any easier. There we go. You see how quickly it sucks it up? There you go. There you go. Outside looks pretty good, I want to say. I'm gonna get a little picky with it. Or what you could also do is cut a strand, grab your, these are all different techniques. I'm gonna cut the strand and you just kind of want to like, hang on, go like this a little bit, let it heat up. Sometimes this trick works. It all depends. For now, let's leave it like that. That should be good enough. Let's clean up that mess. And to clean it up, we're going to use, as usual, cotton Q-tips and alcohol. Make sure you get all the flux off. Okay, you can even grab a little bit more. Make sure it's as clean as possible before you start doing any more stuff to it. Now let's go on the other side. Make sure that diode is still there, right? Our friend the diode seems to still be there. We're gonna do on this side the same thing though. We'll try and heat that up and get rid of some of that solder that's there. Don't forget, apply a little flux. Here. Grab your wick. Grab your iron. This side might be a little bit less challenging actually. I'm gonna go ahead and be mindful of the diode, don't forget. You go, and then you can just come to this side. There we go, and now the holes are clean, like I wanted them. Now we clean. This will be good for now. We'll clean a little bit better after, no worries. So now that we've got all our anchor holes good and whatnot, diode's still there, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna prep it. How I like to prep it is, I like to use 183. So we've used the 138. Now we're gonna use 183, and the reason for 183 is it's far more sturdy. It's not as fragile. It'll handle, spikes in temperature and all that stuff. So if it gets too hot, like if they go to Texas and it gets incredibly hot, it's not gonna like fall off and wiggle around or anything, which is what we're looking for. As always, flux. We're gonna fill up the anchor holes with this good stuff. This is 183. Don't forget. The anchor holes are always going to be a little bit harder because, again, they are ground. So anything that's ground requires more heat, which of course your iron tip alone is not going to be able to provide, but we're just trying to fill it up. There we go. And then just put some of this on your pads. You're going to see why. Make them like nice, fluffy pillows. Be gentle as you're doing it. You don't want to rip any pads also. And you don't want to cause any bridges. That should be good enough. We'll clean up one more time. Always a lot of cleaning up when there's flux involved. Want your surface as clean as possible. Because also, as you're cleaning, you can see things like a solder bridge. See? If I hadn't cleaned that up, I wouldn't have seen that bridge. So we have no bridges, blah, blah, blah. Now we can prep our new HDMI port. And how we're going to prep it is with the hot swap method. This one. So, hot swap method. So here's how we're going to prep this. We are going to, let's do it over here where there's not as much risk. Huh? There we are. There we go. Okay, so what I do is put flux here, flux, always fluxing. So pay attention. We are going to add 138 solder to this. I know it seems weird, but it makes for, like that guy from YouTube says, better than factory. Because we're going to harness the chemical reaction of flux and solder to make nice pads. So I'm going to put it on the anchor holes. We got it on the anchor holes. We're going to put it on the legs. Make sure the legs don't have bridges. And try if you can to do little tails. Little tails. If you get one that bridges, don't panic. Just put a little bit more flux. You come back, boom. And you grab that, boom. You see how they have like slight little tails, some of them at the end? That's how we want it. Want to make sure that this is good. Here you go. Little spikes. Little spikes. Here we go. So now this is ready. So we have 10 legs here, and then 10 anchor holes, 10 pads. So what's going to happen is they're going to blend together, and it's going to make a super sturdy connection. So back to here. Okay. So now, again, we're going to put flux. Flux, flux, flux. Flux is the key. Make sure you always have flux and you're never running out. Flux is the lifeline of soldering. And we are going to Do the same thing as before. And if you're comfortable putting something on the board to get it held together, you can. Okay. So, let's watch what I'm going to do. I'm not going to put the port in yet. I'm going to just kind of hover over it a little bit. My hot air. And I want that right here to start melting. And once I see it liquefy, I'm going to come in and kind of drop it in. Okay. There we go. Right there. Okay. We're going to move your air left to right, left to right. Is it liquefying a bit? Yep, there we go. It's liquefied. Gonna drop your port in. And then you can just press it down. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can remove your hot air. You're gonna hold it. If you need to do what we call a reflow, you can definitely do that as well. And a reflow, so if you're not confident in the placement, you come back with your hot air. You do the thing. You wait for the anchors to liquefy, and you can like move it around if you need to gently. You see, I moved it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remove. The hot air back. And keep holding, keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. You can even look at your legs, make sure you're happy with them. They look pretty good. Personally, I'm starting to be satisfied with them. I'm gonna wait for this to cool down, and I'm still gonna come in and touch them up anyways. So, what I do to touch them up is, you're right. We're gonna come in, we're gonna grab a little bit more flux. I'm gonna touch each one up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can just go like this. Let me actually zoom out a little bit. There you go, so I can actually see what I'm doing. Go to. You see how nice those joints look? Look even. And right now we're touching up just because I'm trying to be OCD, but I was very confident in those in that work. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, you were right. We're gonna clean. Clean, clean, clean. Clean this up a bit. And we're gonna see, are there any bridges or anything like that? Can you guys see that? Let's see. You got too close, I guess. Right there. Good. Okay, so from this angle, I'm not seeing bridges. We're gonna go ahead and flip it over. I'm gonna look from the other side. Over here. There we are. Go. See. I'm gonna clean up some more again. Cleaning. So from this angle, well, from there, I'm not seeing bridges, but let me go ahead and zoom out so I can see myself. That looks pretty good. Doesn't look like there's any bridges. Yeah, that looks pretty damn good. Okay, now we're gonna verify that all those pins are solid. So you're gonna grab your tweezers, you're gonna try and wiggle them. You see, before we could wiggle them, and now we cannot. And that is the magic of the hot swap method. There we go. Everything's nice over there. Make sure that the other side is good too. You leave when things take anything out. Leave it too horrible. Now over here, if you're happy with the legs, you can leave them be. I usually come in at just a tad more, just to be antagonistic with it. Because one can never have too much solder on those Angkor legs. There we go. Little blobs. You didn't come in. Put a little hot air on them. Make it nice and even. Give your tip a little. There you go. Give your tip a little edge. And clean, 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 clean. Can never get it. Now if you can clean. Usually by this point, I try and clean with a rag. So then what I do here is come in. You can grab a little toothbrush. Paper towel should be fine. A toothbrush. Clean that up a little better. Now when it dries, it's nice and pretty. See? Much better, right? Whole world of difference. Doesn't look greasy or anything. Get it over. Okay, perfect. Now flip the sucker over. We're gonna do the same on the other side. Gonna come in with our piece of paper towel. Gonna round it. Okay, that's looking so much better. Perfect. Alrighty, that's good to go. And that is how you do an HDMI replacement, guys. Hope this video helps. Don't forget this was the hot swap method. So what we did again was we put low melt solder on the anchor holes and on the pins with flux. Obviously we used 138, and then we heated up at 425 temperature with 120 airflow. And then once we removed the port, we cleaned it up again with some 138. We removed it or sucked it up, or whatever you want to use as a term, with your solder wick. Then we went ahead and we put some 183 leaded solder for that sturdy feeling. And then we added some 183 to both anchor hole sides and to the pins. We did the same pattern on the replacement port, where we put 183 on the anchor holes and on the pins, and we put it back and made a very, very nice solid unit. And this is not gonna go anywhere. Alrighty guys, hopefully this was able to help. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the Discord group or DM me. This is a very simple, easy process. It obviously takes a little bit just because it is a video and I'm trying to really break it down. But once you guys get the process down, you'll have these knocked out in less than 15 minutes. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to message us in the group. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and hope this helps you bring in some more PlayStation repairs. Have a good day.